having 2 decades of experience in IT advisory role, and I have experience in various data management area, especially data governance and AI governance. I am expertise in the data quality framework, lineage, and compliance across multiple systems. Also worked on a few applications, something like SAP, Informatica Collibra, and Purview. That's it about me in short. Can Vijay and Viraj introduce yourself, your experience, and your expectations of this session, and your overall experience in the data management?
Hi Subram. Hi Viraj. So yeah, myself Vijay Kumar, and I got like uh, I got like 6 years of experience in IT with 4 years of relevant experience in Collibra. So basically, I do like the admin of Collibra Access. So I just want to deep dive into the tool like workflows, policy creation, and how this data governance implementation can be done. So these kind of things I'm expecting, including data quality as well. And one more thing, like data quality. So what I found is like it is not inbuilt of Colibra. So I just want to know like, how we can do this in data quality in Colibra. So and workflows. So these are some expectations to this session for me. Yeah.
Okay, Viraj.
Hi, so myself, Viraj, I'm based out of Australia, currently working with one of the top four banks in Australia as a database administrator. I'm working on database migration and database security domain. I have around 17 years of versatile experience in IT, majorly into database and then into governance, risk, and compliance. So the expectation from the course is I'm exploring into data governance. This domain is, although I am from a database domain, but um, learning data governance, I think, will add on to the overall experience I have, and I have seen a lot of openings for data governance recently in Australia. So that is the motive behind learning data governance.
Okay, you are rightly said. There are a lot of openings in Australia.
Yeah.
See,
Mm.
I will also tell you one thing. Uh,
Mhm.
Today we are going to have the introductions and basic foundations and the opportunity in the data governance.
Yeah.
And tomorrow we'll get into some basics about Colibra functionality.
Mm.
This entire week will be a theoretical class. Okay, next
Yeah.
week onwards we'll have some demo
Mm.
for 45 minutes, and we'll go by content one by one.
Yeah.
Okay, I think you already when gone through the content, right? How
Yeah.
we will be conducting this session. So the session start with me open my pack. So we'll be having basic data governance and data catalog. These are the sessions we'll be having in the coming weeks. Data lineage, data quality and observability, privacy compliance, integration API, and collaboration user experience, and finally AI and automation. So we divided this session into eight sessions, and it will be having 3 hours per session. Okay. So do you have the access to the Colibra, or do you have
Mm.
any
No,
sandbox?
not yet. We have purchased or requested Madam to provide us the lab access, and we have paid for that. But For now, we don't have the access to the labs.
Okay. Vijay, you also same thing, right? He doesn't have the access.
Yes, I mean, I do same thing as because I mean, we are yet to get the access, lab access. So yeah, not yet.
Okay.
Hmm. And one more thing, like, are we going to cover the data quality as well? Data quality, tags, and something.
Yes, our presentation, yes, I will show it one by one. I will cover 8 topics in this Collibra to start with data governance, data catalog, data lineage, and data quality, privacy and compliance, integration and APIs, collaboration and user experience. And finally, we will be having AI and automation.
Okay.
There are the 8 topics will be covered under Collibra. This is the complete features of the Collibra applications. As far as I know, this content is prepared from my side. So what are the features available? Based on that, I have created this presentation. So for demo, we'll be using some Excel data as input for our demo because we are not going to connect any database or SQL or something. We are going to use a Excel sample template for our demo. So there'll be each and for each session we will be having a separate demo sessions. Okay. So
Yes.
coming back to the Neeraj talking about because this week we'll be having only theoretical and discussion and the opportunities. That's our objective for this week. From next week onwards, we'll start with the demo. Okay. So as Viraj said, there are a lot of opportunity in Australia. So if you ask me, data governance is not matured as expected. This was matured in some regions, especially as you said in Australia, and this was slowly improving in Europe and US. As for India, it's not matured as expected because in India, data governance is not matured. The reason behind is that in India they have adopted a compliance which is very recently adopted a compliance which is called DPDP, which is the policy regulations enforced by Indian government. Which is purely based on the Digital Personal and Data Protection Act. I think this was established in 2023, so it's only 2 years old. Before that, they doesn't have any regulations. Now they have the regulations, and also in Europe, they have recently enforced one of the policy called Europe AA Act, and also in US they have Gen AI profile. That's one of the act which was recently enforced. So why they have enforced this in a policy? There are number of AI technology have increased. So they want to adapt how to protect the data from the beginning. Anyone already used AI applications or developed any applications from
I
your
have
side?
not worked as such on AI, Gen AI,
Mhm.
but I know some concepts around it. Um, but I don't see like not all the organizations have started implementing AI or AI governance for now. So it's very much uh, at the basic level, I believe.
What about Vijay? Do you worked on any AI before? Any
No, actually, I mean, what I
not
know
a
is what I know is like this one, the AI governance in Collibra. I think it has started like a year ago, I guess. So there are some discussions like to implement it, but no idea over it. I don't know like what exactly it is doing. So no idea basically on the AI governance. Yeah.
Okay. So, did you done any POC in AI, some testing model, or did you tested anything based on your experience? Not a real-time project, just a POC or any prototype project you just mocked up on it? No. Okay.
So which tools are getting traction nowadays? And which tools are getting adopted by the companies for AI?
For AI, okay, I
LangChain is I heard about. Uh,
hmm, okay. For
Agentic AI.
Yeah, for agentic AI, okay, AI transformed in different phases. To start, initially they called AS, LLM, and now and the middle they say like agent AI. Now they say like agentic AI. So, what is the transformation exactly from this AI model? So I am talking about only the structured data. Okay, so you can relate AI to any type of data, like unstructured also. So our Collibra tool currently, not only Collibra tool, all the tool currently works in the way of structured data model. Even unstructured data exists, something like policy management. Even it doesn't have how the functionality is all about. Purely a structured data. Okay. So structured data is, as you know, we have tables and columns. In today's, so we have to start with some understanding. Okay, I'll tell you which tool is adopted for AI. I'm just giving the basic information how the AI start and which tool is uh, primarily used in the current world. So start with AI. AI have three different I mean the four different data, like you have image and video, audio, and text. So which is more popular is text, as will be using chat GPT or copilot. And using this text data, we can also transform our existing structured data to a meaningful information. That's one of the advantages. And also we can get some of the data which was stored in a image content. For example, if the data is stored in a PDF format that contains some data, data means in the image, I mean in the PDF file, you have the structured data which was updated in the structured format data. Still, we can extract the structured format data from the image or the PDF file to a structured format. Okay, so this is a transformation where initially they are using the AI to transform the data or extracting some information from the source files, maybe image, video, or audio, or text. They're converting that data into some meaningful information. That is basically called as a LLM, initial stage. That is the traditional AI. So how this was transformed, agentic AI, where they created a model, how the model will predict the output. So agentic AI, not I say agent, AI agent will just enable and deliver some output. So that output is maybe a predictive output or some information to the business. That's another transformation. So recently, what happens? This agentic AI will work in a different way with the minimal manual interventions. So when we give the data from the text information that is transformed and pushed to a consumption layer. What happens from the consumption layer? The user just consume the data or creating some dashboard or something like that. So agentic AI, what happens? Agentic AI just detect the data and make the data as a 100% accurate. So I can make it in a simple way. Do you know the concepts of bronze, silver, and gold?
Bronze, silver, and gold in terms of tier, is it?
Yeah, it's a data layer. See, now how they call it as earlier, it's a different security layer, and they say consumption layer, something we call it
Mhm.
as. Now what happens? They changed the way of language. Now they say uh, bronze. Bronze is a raw data. Okay, bronze layer is a raw data. Silver is a clean data. Okay, it's a clean data means it's a filtered data, which is the complete data. Okay, and we have the gold layer. Gold layer is something as a golden records. As you say, golden record is the final data, which is the enriched data. Okay. So what happens in the agentic AI? Agentic AI will enrich the data without manual interventions and create the final golden record. So initial stage, what happens? People has to do some data cleansing or data massaging or data enrichment that has to be done manually. But agentic AI will perform that particular task and create and keep the final record. That is the process of agentic AI. Agentic AI also needs some human loop. Like whenever the data is getting enriched, this has to be approved before moving the recommended because AI will just recommend a solutions. So that solution has to be reviewed and approved before moving to the production. So that is the human loop is currently exist in the data layer. Even we can have without a human also, but no one will how we will be ensuring that our data is 100% accurate. In today's world, there are a lot of AI enablement. People talking about yes, we have enabled this AI. So why we have to do the AI to predict something or to enhance something or enrich something from data? So if you are doing the or enabled AI model without a manual interventions, we are not sure how much accurate is our data is all about. So there is a control in place.
Basically, the governance part you're talking about.
Yes, correct. The control in place for all AI. Say like imagine like you have a Excel. Okay, you have a Excel spreadsheet. There are a lot of okay. Let me put it in an example. I think this will work. Let me give it one example. Okay, say this customer name. If I talk too much, then it will be difficult to follow. And address, postcode or postal code, email ID. Okay, some this is customer ID. Okay, this is 100 01 XYZ 2 10 6 address. Some domain number.
What is the GST column about?
It's a tax. Right? All customers will have some tax ID, right?
So this is a transaction he has done.
It's this is. It's not a transaction. It's a ID. I think you are aware, right? For all business, like we have the Aadhaar number, right? Similarly for customers, I mean the customer is company. For an organization, they say a customer which is their business partner.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, that I understood, but what about GST? I didn't understand that part.
Yeah, GST. Each customer have the GST. Okay.
Okay.
So, yeah, like the tax number will get
Yeah,
something.
tax number. Yeah.
Okay.
I can put in another way to easy understanding. Okay. So remember one thing. I think this is one important item. Duns and Brad. Anyone heard this word Duns and Bradstreet? Heard this word?
I haven't heard actually.
You haven't. Vijay, Viraj, do you hear this word Duns and Bradstreet?
No.
No, right? Okay. No issues. Okay. It's also a unique number. I will tell you this is one of the interesting thing why I'm talking about Duns and Bradstreet. Because this is one of the organization which was even referred in the DM book. Okay.
Okay, we call it DNB organization.
DNB, yes, correct. DNB is
Okay.
Duns and Bradstreet. This was one of the organization was referred in a DNB, in a DM book, data management books. Okay, why they referred this particular company? That's interesting stories altogether. Okay, I'm not updating the email ID. Okay, just putting something. This is only some demo. Okay. Okay, this is our demo data. Okay, this data flows from some SAP system. Okay, SAP system. Our Collibra MDM tool is Collibra, and again, so from where it will be goes to some consumptions, maybe data house or data layer. So they will be using this for Power BI imports or some visualizations. Okay. Okay. So I'm talking about. I'm just coming back to the same story, Viraj. I remember your question. Okay, do not worry. I'm just starting from the scratch. Okay, so assume that we have this data which is flows from the SAP, and the responsibility of this MDM tool or data governance tool. So we can call anything like that DG tool. Okay. Data management and data governance, something slightly different. I will tell you. Once you move to the deeper into the foundations. Okay. So this data flows from the ACP system. We have this structured data. Okay. Now we are going to enable a AI model. Assume that we are enabling a AI model in the MDM tool. Okay. So what happens? So we enabled. Remember the same data will be there. Same data will be there. So one data is master data management. Okay, MDM. Okay, another layer we will be calling it as, this will be the same data layer. Okay, but I'm just putting a different name to for our understanding. It will not be in this two different layer. It will be the same layer. but different meaning altogether. Data governance. When we call the data governance. Okay. So for master data management, what we will do for master data management, and we will create one more for AA. AA, maybe AA governance. Okay. In MDM, okay, the Collibra tool may be used for multiple purposes. Okay, the main purpose of using this Collibra is two things. One is master data management. Another one is for Collibra. Not Collibra, it's for data governance. Okay, and this is the latest technology where they are trying to use Collibra for the AI enhancement or AI enablement. Okay, I will start with the basics for MDM. I'm having going to have this will be the same data but different purposes. For MDM, I have this tax code and the DUNS number. Normally in DUNS number, they will be maintaining some DUNS number in the SAP. Okay. So I will tell, okay, as you people know this information, right? Everyone know this is very clear. Customer name, address, and postal code, tax, email ID. This column is very clear. Any questions in this particular column? So you are not clear about this particular field.
Okay.
You have a question, right? Why this Duns and Bradstreet? Correct?
Yeah.
DNB. DNB. Why we need to maintain this? Okay, this is very interesting story, and also this particular organization is referred in the Dhamma book. Okay, in today's data quality dimension, how many do you know the data quality dimension? What are the data quality dimension in the data quality? Anyone aware?
Accuracy.
Data quality dimensions. What are the data quality dimensions available in data quality?
Is it like the consistency, reliability, or other things?
It's not a conditions, it's a dimensions like consistency, completeness.
Accountability and all.
Accuracy.
Yeah, okay. Do you know what are the dimensions available in data quality? There are many, but the primary dimension is only 5. Anyone know?
Accuracy. Data accuracy.
Okay, accuracy is one thing. There are many things, but you can try to give some 4 dimensions other than accuracy.
Consistency of data, reliability of data, and
Okay.
accountability. So I think, yeah. Remaining, I'm not sure.
Okay, reliability and accountability is a different thing. Okay, I will just put this data dimension, which is very primary basics for any organization. Okay, there are 20 different dimensions. Okay, but most people need
Uniqueness.
is correct.
Uniqueness something.
Yes, correct, correct. Okay, okay. For data quality is a different story. I will start from the bottom. Okay, I will just start only 5 dimensions, not more than that. Okay, if you do a data quality, more in many cases, all the data quality comes under 5 dimensions, not more than that. You can just club all the data quality issues under 5 dimensions. Okay, one is completeness. My spelling will not be correct. Okay, sometimes consistency, uniqueness, and validity, accuracy. As you said, accuracy. Okay. So why I put accuracy at the top means this is the flow. Okay, this is a very much 5 primary data quality dimensions we have to target. Okay, so we have to start with the basics first. Okay, this is first, second, third, I think third, and four, and five. We cannot achieve this 5. This is the topmost. Okay, I just need to put it in this way. So I think 4 and 5. So we have to start with completeness. Okay, if you are doing any data analytics or data modeling, your first target should be the completeness, followed by the consistency. Okay, then uniqueness, the validity and accuracy. Okay, this is very interesting part. Even every company is struggling with this. Okay, they might say accuracy, but this ensuring the accuracy is not a easy thing. Okay. So if you are doing any data modeling during the data injections, how you ensure that, okay, we have the master data management. In the master data management, assume that I'm just created the data model, ingest the data from model from the source to the Collibra. Okay. And my first check will be completeness. I need to ensure that all the data is flows to MDM system. Okay, right? I say this is right. I say this is tick. Okay, right? I got everything in my place. Okay. Consistency. Okay. I got everything in my place means yes, I have the data without any missing records, null record. Okay, fine. How consistent is my data? For example, okay, XYZ address is 1104. Okay, then what happens? Sometimes this ABC address is also updated here. Okay, but we will say this is not a null. Okay, it says completeness issue is fixed. Okay, but consistency is missing because this is not the address of XYZ. This is one of the example, and also the address is tagged to some other tax ID. Okay, some other tax ID. Okay, but there is no null. So there are some records updated, but without any missing data. But we have to ensure that how consistent is our is data. That's the thing we have to validate. That is the second thing. Okay. Okay. Now we checked. Okay, consistency, everything is fixed. Okay. Now we have to check the duplicate records. Okay. And after import or after data injections, and yes, we have received this much information. Okay. Okay. Normally this will not be. This will be same. Okay. This will be unique because this is a primary key. Okay. I think you know the concept of primary key, right?
Yeah.
Okay. This is unique, but I would say my customer is duplicate. This customer is duplicate. I have to deduplicate. This is my uniqueness. Okay. This is the way you have to start your data modeling. Even if you're moving to data architect, this is the way you have to start. Okay. And
So where,
finally,
in which phase do we create a golden record in that case? Like for
yeah,
this?
this is a good question. Okay. Still, I'm in the initially I was in the raw data. Okay. So once I push the data, this is my bronze layer. Okay, this is my bronze layer. Once I push it, there'll be 3 layers. Okay, this is my bronze layer. This will push into MDM and kept it as a bronze layer, not in the MDM. It will put in maybe in the data lakes. Okay, and then from the data lakes, we will be cleaning the records. Okay, this will be treated. This will be in the once the data pushed, there will be maintained a storage system. Okay, let me put it in the storage system, which is assume that we have ADLS. Okay, Azure Data Lakes. Okay, in that we have the bronze, bronze, silver. This is a new way of talking language nowadays. Okay, gold. Okay, gold. Okay, so bronze. Where is bronze means? It's a complete raw data. Okay, without untouched data. You can take the untouched data. Okay, so which is whatever data data available in the SAP system that goes to the bronze. Okay. So this 3 layer will be available in the storage system. This is the proper way of data modeling. Okay. And what happens? Silver layer. Now we are in the silver layer because here we are just cleaning the data, which is the cleaned data. Okay. So this is the clean. This is the assume this is our silver. here. Yeah, just I mark it for our quick reference. This is our silver. This is in different color. Okay. I'm not going to gold now. Okay. So I have to do this data quality. I have to fix the data quality issues. That's my primary thing before moving to the gold. Okay. Gold is a consumption records, right? Everyone is aware. So coming back to the story, now we have the uniqueness, consistency, and completeness. Okay, validity. Okay, so wherever you go for the data quality implementations, just target only these five items. Okay, not more than that. You can cover all anything in the data quality. Okay, so validity. Why we have to check the validity? Reason behind is that we have the data scopes. I mean the created date. Okay, as you are aware, created date, maybe some record is created long time back. Some record is created.
Ensure that the data is relevant.
Yes, correct. This is relevant. Okay. So for our scope, it is not necessary to have all the data into our storage system. Why means if we include all the data, that will increase our storage capacity, also the expensive for the storage. Okay, then we have to scope it. Okay, we have to scope it, and this has to be discussed before the data model with the business team, and how they want to see what are the data they're going to maintain. It's also a data quality process. It's a data retention and archive. That's we will come to a different story. So okay, this is a data created date. Okay, assume that. Let me put one more entry. Is 107 and see, this is some latest record. Okay, so for data validity, assume that they have pushed all the records in the raw data. Okay, they pushed all the three records have been in the raw data, and now our responsibility need to ensure that we have to have the valid sets of records in the silver clean records. So we have to set the validity of the data which flows from the source system. So relevant information and the valid information. That's another thing. So we covered all these four items. Okay. Back to this particular accuracy. If anyone talks about data accuracy, you can straight away ask a question, how you ensure that your data is accurate. Okay, accuracy is not a simple thing we can get the data accurate. How you can get the data accurate in three main components. One is from the three main components, reference data. Okay, reference data followed by real-time lookup. I definitely one by one, and then I cannot remember exactly. Let me. I have to refer this one because reference data, real-time lookup. One more thing. Hmm, okay, got it. Third party. Okay. Whenever people ask a question, whenever you're talking about any data quality accuracy, you can ask the people, what is your reference data, what is real time lookup, and who is your third party. Okay, how this was related, I'll tell you. So to ensure our data quality is accurate, okay. So what we can do, so we have the data, okay. This is our customer data. In all businesses, for them, customer is saying Sorry, 1 second. In all businesses, customer is their important data. Okay. Even if you go to any organization, they will do the analysis only on the customer base. They have the vendor also. Okay. The three primary data domain in any businesses. One is customer, vendor, and product. Product is a material. Okay, I'm talking about the manufacturing industry because I have plenty of experience in the manufacturing industry. That's the reason I'm giving that particular example. Okay, for them, customer database is very, very important. Okay, if you're moving it to the customer data analytics, you will get job anywhere if you are an expert in customer data analytics. Okay, and I'm talking about the accuracy, right? This is very challenging to achieve the accuracy. We have to think about three main components: reference data, real-time lookup, and third party. Okay, so we have maintained this data, and once we create a customer, this is the customer created in 2023. This is our database. Okay, I think this will be unique. This also will be unique. Okay, so this is my customer database. So I want to, for accuracy, to achieve the accuracy, how I can do that? Any guesses from me both? How we can do, we can perform the accuracy? I given the example for completeness, consistency, uniqueness, and validity. So many guesses you can give. So I can give. This is the components has to be considered for the accuracy. Okay. Any guesses how we can achieve the accuracy?
So just consider this first customer XYZ.
Okay.
So we need to check whether this email ID is relevant for this customer name.
Hmm.
Has that changed or not? That can
Hmm.
be referred uh, to the reference data, and that way you can make it accurate.
Okay.
There should be some record where the data is getting updated real
Hmm.
time. Right?
Correct.
Yeah. So this might be a stale data, like this might be an inaccurate information or on
Hmm.
old information. So XYZ customer might have a different email ID now at present.
Hmm.
So
Correct.
in our records, it is old. So that is not accurate if it is changed.
Hmm. Correct. That also comes under the validity sometimes.
Mm,
Yeah, validity.
mm,
So how much our data is valid? As you said, we have to compare our data with some data to have the accurate data. How we can compare? Meaning, as you said, we have to have the some reference data, and the comparison is some real-time data. And
mm,
who will provide that comparison is some third party. Okay, it's not the existing company because we maintain the data. We doesn't know whether our data is right or wrong. Who will ensure that our data is right? It's a third party reference data. Who will provide the third party reference data means that is Duns and Bradstreet, DNB. That's also referred in the Dhamma book. I'm not saying with my own. This is referred in the Dhamma book. Even you can challenge anyone is asking about how you can achieve the accuracy. Just straightforward. We have to compare our data with the reference data available in the DNB database. That's it.
So this DNB will have all the information of the customers, is it?
Correct. DNB have the all the information of not only the customer, it will have the all the information of
Product or
the history of the product. And
mm,
for example, if you have a company, assume that if you own a company, DNB will update your company in their database and update all the details like how much is the turnover of your company, how much is the investments, who is the contact point, who is the chairman, who is the director, and who is the account manager, and the email ID. everything, all the customer profiling data will be available in the Duns and Bradstreet. They are maintaining the database. That's their work, and they are selling their database to the companies for the data enrichment. So this for selling means they provide they will charge
Service.
some cost and sell the company profile to the companies for their enrichment. Okay, this is the only way at present we can do the data quality accuracy, which is also highlighted in the Dharma book. I'm not saying with my own, even we did it. Okay, in my organization, we did these comparisons and maintain the data quality accuracy. Okay, for example, if you are going for any interview or something, you can straight away say this is one of the approach. No one deny that. Okay, so I will also show it to you the Duns and Bradstreet website.
So anyone can buy that data. I mean, taking some subscription, they can buy the
Yes,
data.
yes. See, what happens normally, these people will provide like a API. Okay, so search option, small vendor also they will maintain. So if we know the DUNS number, they will provide a unique DUNS number for all the organization. So thus that DUNS number is maintained in our database for our reference. So what happens? We will refer this DUNS number is a unique number and get this information and ensuring that whatever data which is updated in our database is 100% accurate. And also there will be some API process to fetch the data from the DNB tool and we will match the records. And during the data quality accuracy, we also match how much percentage is our record matches with the DNB. Sometimes it will not match 100%. So we have to ensure that it is 85%, 90% or 95%, that we have to there will be
There
some
would
match.
be some records,
Hmm.
some customers which might not have records in DNB also. It will have definitely.
Yeah, in many cases, but in my experience, even small customer also have the database. One of my interesting story I tell you. I think two last month. Okay, I had a training with one of my known audit office where they asked me to give the Excel training, Excel and Power BI training. Okay, during the time I was discussing, and they have some data quality issues, and they just looking at some data, they doesn't have the right information. Okay, then they suggested, okay, why don't you just purchase a DNB license and compare the data? And they said that they doesn't aware of this thing, and I asked the question. Can you tell your name of the company, the audit office? So then I searched the audit office in the during the time that audit office visible in the Duns and Bradstreet DNB portal. Okay, I asked them, even they doesn't aware company that audit office that doesn't aware their name appearing in the DNB tool. So DNB is so clever, even the people doesn't know they how they capturing this information. Even I also don't know, but they are selling the personal profile, the company's profile to the other companies.
Without their confirmation, how that DNB can fetch the data, that is a breach of privacy, right?
Yes, definitely this is a breach of privacy, but even they doesn't have the high level information. They will what they will do, they will simply say they did some analysis and capture this particular information, like the company name and the director phone number. They used to get this information, basic level
Mm.
information, not the detailed level information. Some company purposefully share the information to the DNB.
Mm.
They will just share the information and the DNB will maintain. The reason behind is that's a unique ID where the other company can use it. For example, for a big organization, whenever they are creating a new customer, they will ask the Dunson DNB ID. They will ask, do you have the DNB ID? So for that reason, many customers, I mean the business partner, will enroll. I mean. Will register their name in the DNB portal.
Mhm.
Okay, and get the unique ID. And during their customer appointment, they will share the DNB unique ID. They will just create a record and update the DNB records. This is also very useful. What happens every now and then, DNB update the records because they are just working with the marketing team, and they will get to know who is the current account manager for sales. And whenever the marketing account manager change, the data will be updated in the DNB portal. So in the API process, the latest account manager will be fetched and updated in the company resource system. Okay, instead
So
of
that data refresh or updation is cyclic, or it is followed by some change control. I mean, whatever information, if it has changed in the DNB records, we might have to update it in our records, right, in our database.
Yes, correct. It's also a real-time update. Okay, but based on some license, real-time update, whatever the changes happening in the DNB portal, that will be updated in a real-time basis in our database through a API.
So it will be an API call which will update.
Yes, correct. Through API call, you'll be updating those records and ensuring that our database is 100% accurate. So this is the way is currently followed to achieve the accuracy, but many organization is not right. Okay, some organization, some big organization, they tried and updated their and bash it for the accuracy. If you're going for an interview, they ask the question, how do you ensure the accuracy? Means this is the only way. Many companies, even if you ask the company, any company, even in your company, we can ask well, how do you ensure that data accuracy? Means they will simply, most people doesn't know, but this is the only way as referred in the Dhamma book. Okay. Any questions so far?
Nothing for now.
Okay. So I'm starting with very basics. Okay. I will come to your question, Viraj. I remember that. Okay. AI model, which is, okay. I will tell you at the end. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm just starting with the basics. Okay. Very, very detailed basics. If you think like, okay, this is very boring or not interested, let me know so I can just make it something different. Okay.
Oh, this is good. Nice.
Okay. So as we know, we have achieved these items. Now we have to coming back to the accuracy. So once you achieve the accuracy, then we can push the data into the golden layer, right? Okay. So we have matched everything and our done. Here what happens? Match one more additional record, match percentage. Okay, maybe 100, 95%, 85%, and 35%. Okay, then we will push the record based on the threshold. Here is the main thing comes. Okay, so when we will be pushing the record, okay, we have to decide how much percentage of accuracy has to be pushed to the golden layer. Okay, this is the where we have to bring the governance piece. Okay, so we have to discuss with the business, or else we can also decide. Okay, we can target more than 85% of records can be pushed to production. Okay, our threshold is 85% more. Yes, 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 no. So these three records move to the golden layer. Three records means including all. Okay, all the records. So this is enriched. Okay, enriched means after comparing the data with the API call, we enrich the data, and our data is right. Okay, then we are meeting the threshold. Okay, we are meeting threshold. If the match percentage is accuracy, then 85% more, every 85% more, then we will put the records. Then what happens? Okay, what happened to this particular record? Okay, this is very interesting. Is altogether. So what happened to this record? This record will be pushed to the human loop. Human loop means nowadays people call it as human loop. Okay. So what happens? This will be alerted using a workflow. Okay, as you are aware, like in Collibra, you have UI in workflow, right? In a workflow, these data will be pushed for a review. Review. Status. Review. So what happens once this will be who will be reviewing this data? That's the interesting question. Can anyone guess who will be reviewing this data? You can say the role. That's it.
Maybe the steward or something, or the customer.
Correct. Data steward.
Data owner. No?
Data owner will be different. I'll tell you the responsibility of data owner. Okay. That's during the okay. I'll tell you now. During our process, I can say okay. I'll say to avoid the confusion. Okay. In the data governance, one is there are two things. One is strategic. Maybe my spelling is incorrect. Strategic. Another one is operational. Two things in data governance council. Under strategics, we have data executive, data sponsor, and I'll put this in below data manager or data governance lead. Okay, and we have data owner, data custodian, and data steward. Okay, so to make it clear, these people is coming under operations. Okay, these people coming under strategic. Okay, so who is there is one person in the middle. Okay, this person will works in both strategic and operation team. Okay, data manager. So he will be working with the data executive and he will be working with the operation team. So he will just get the inputs and he will just share the inputs with the operation team. Okay, so data custodian, data owner. Data owner, what happens? There'll be some two stages. What happens? It depends on the company to company. Okay, it will not say this is not a straightforward setup. Okay, this is one of the approach. Once again, this is one of the approach, and this is also commonly used approach in any organization. Okay, so even if you're going for interview, you have to say how the data governance is maintained. Means this is the way. Okay, sometimes they will not maintain. They will be maintaining data manager as an operation or data governance. It depends on the company's strategy. Okay, this is the common approach. Okay, so another thing is very important. Who is this people is all about? Okay, that also we have to understand. These people from the business. These people from the business. These people from the business. This people from the business, and this people from the technical IT. Okay. Sometimes what happens? Data owner will perform both these tasks. He is have knowledge both business and technical. So he'll perform this both tasks. Let us hear from the business side. Okay. So the responsibility, I'm not going to deeper about the strategies. The responsibility of the data owner. Data owner comes in when there is a design change in the database. For example, um, we have the tax number. If you want to add one more field in the source, okay, in the source. For example, tax number is there. What is the data I can include? Hmm, okay, I'm just putting SSN number. Okay, this is a new field. Okay, I'm just going to add after the data model. Okay, data model is fixed and is already running. Okay, I just want to add one more column in the source. Okay, this column, once I add this column definitely will appear in the all other systems, connected systems. I mean the connected downstream systems. Okay, once a new field is added, and what happens? This data flows to the raw and the clean data. During the cleaning process, there is a drift. Drift meaning a new column is added, which is a data or schema drift. Maybe you can call it a schema drift. New column is added. Okay. So what happens is this new column will be highlighted to the data owner. Okay. Data owner just review and approve whether they want to maintain this data in our database or not. So data owner primarily works as a design owner. You can also call it as a design owner, and that's the primary objective of the data owner. So it's business to business cases. Some organization they will make different data owner for different responsibility. So most common responsibilities. This is the responsibility of the data owner. Okay. Sometimes if the company doesn't maintain the data owner, all the responsibility will be performed with the data custodian. Okay. So this is approving the data drift. Okay. So that is the responsibility of the data owner. Then this one will the review of the new where the record doesn't matches. Now the responsibility of the data steward to ensure that the data has to be updated in the golden layer. So what happens? So the information steward will get a alert and he will review this record. And what happens? He will be sometimes he will be work with the source system and try to fix the issue from the source. That's the first thing. Okay. And for immediate requirement, he will update the changes in the source system. So what happens during the data management? They will not do any changes in the master data management. Master data management is primarily used to enrich the data. Okay, convert, cleaning the data, and uh, moving the data. For this instance, where the data is incorrect, its best approach is that they have to update or enrich the data from the source. Okay, to have the correct information in both the systems. If they do the changes the data, correct the system, the middleware. This is the middleware. If they do the changes in the middleware, then the records updated in the source will again change it to the old record, meaning they haven't changed because we have seen a lot of these issues in the past. Okay, what happens? People will change the record in the source system again during the API refresh. What happens? The old record will replace the updated record. Okay, to avoid that, whatever the enrichment or this manual review has to be updated in the source system. Okay, so this will be manually reviewed and he will monitor the database and request the operation team to update the records. Okay, that's the responsibility of the data steward. Okay. Any questions so far?
No.
Okay. Now we have, I think we already covered this one. I will remove this. Okay. Because data governance we covered here. Okay. And how this was moved. So we'll be having the context or ownership. Ownership. So who will be contact? Maybe some person name. He will be the data steward. Likewise for all the database, it depends. Okay, currently I have maintained only custom database. In customer database, there'll be different data area, maybe country specific. Some company person supports one country, some person supports another country. Likewise, the responsibility and ownership will be different. Okay. So currently, this is one of the example. This is close to one of the steward, and steward will just work with the operation team and update the records in the source system. So once that is done, so their match percentage will be improved. So this issue review is fixed from the database. Okay. So this is the normal process without any AI. Okay. So from here is a master data management. From here to here is the data governance. Okay, where we are looping the customer and not a customer, a steward and maintaining the threshold. Okay, this is the governance. Okay, coming back to the AI. Okay, how this was enabled in recent times. Okay, now what happens after updating these changes, and this also changed to the golden record, the golden record, and pushed to the golden enriched data. We can call it as enriched data ready for consumption. Okay, this will be consumed by the various audits in the company. Some people like data scientist or data engineer will use this data, and it depends on the roles. Even some people they want to have the raw data also. They will just use the raw data. So golden data is primarily for the end user where they want to create a dashboard or something like that. It depends on the user specific for which data layer they have access to. But many users will use only golden layer. Okay. For coming back to the recent changes, AI governance. So in AI also we will be having the same set of information. Same set of information. After getting this information, I just want to enable AI. Okay, how I can does that? Okay, in the current scenario, the AI works in the way of data catalog. Okay, so can anyone tell what is all about data catalog? Guesses. Hello, Vijay, Miraj. Any guesses about data catalog? So what is data catalog? You can say some components about data catalog.
Not sure.
Okay.
Integration sources.
Hmm. Integration of sources. That also one thing. You are worked in Collibra, right, Vijay? I think
Yeah.
you might have seen the screen, right?
Yes, I have seen the data catalog.
Yeah. In the data catalog, what are the components and what are the items will be visible? Can you remember?
Metrics, data sets, data dictionaries, integration.
Okay, integrations, yes, data lineage. Okay, okay, do not worry. Okay, I will tell you. Data catalog is only a summary of informations related to data governance. Okay, summary information means summary of data components. Says like data lineage, schema, and contact classification. I don't remember exactly. Data lineage, schema, contact classification. Okay, so data catalog is a summary of multiple information which is available in the application. Okay, one is data lineage. As you know, like data lineage is a data where it's a view where we can see where the data comes from, where is the destination system. That's the data lineage, and also we are get to see the transformation logic, how the data is transformed between the source to destinations. Normally, MTM tool like Collibra is treated as a middleware tool. It's not a destination tool, it's a middleware tool. Any system is all about. So intelligence is where you can monitor the source and destination tool and schema. So schema means the basic information of the data fields like what is the data is all about, whether text data or it's a numeric data or category data, something like that. The schema information of the data. And the contact. Contact means okay, I think the data area, data domain. I think one more item. Even if you're going for interview, it's also one of the okay. So contact. So why we need the contact means this data catalog will highlight for this particular data rows or data sets who is the owner of that particular data sets. Okay. So this also visible in the data catalog. One by any person name will be visible. Okay. And the classifications. Okay. We'll highlight this one. And data domain. This also I will highlight. I'll tell you the reason behind that. Data domain also I will highlight. Okay. So contact classification. Classification means so we have received some data. It flows from the source. Which this is the same data which flows from the source where I have to classify the data. Okay, I have to classify this data. And again, I have to see which data is this domain is all about. Okay, this I can say is a contract. Okay, so this information is automated, currently automated using AI. If you ask about Purview or Collibra, Informatica, all these applications will perform this automation. So I will tell you how this contact is automation. That's a different thing. I will tell you and data domain. Okay. So so in the AI process, what happens? AI will read this data and update classify the data. Okay. So this is talking about tax and VAT, and this will say this contains a personal identification information, something like that. Okay, PAI. Okay. So once we open the data catalog, you can visible this particular data sets belongs to the PAI category. Okay, and also priority. Okay, so this also will be categorized. Not all data contains some PA information. This is custom data, mostly have the PA information. Okay. So how sensitive is all about? Okay, I think normally this will not update in this fashion. I think I updated incorrectly. Normally, this classification is maintained on the metadata level, not on the role level. Okay. Wait. On the metadata level. So for this, which is the metadata, which is very important for us. This is the metadata. You know the metadata concept, right? You both? Okay, this is a metadata. Okay, this is a metadata. Once the data flows from the system will read through all this field name and say this is PAI, this is PAI, customer may be PAI. That's it. Email is PAI, email address cannot be. Okay, this is a PAI information.
So this metadata also is automatically populated, or it's manual?
Metadata is automatically populated. Once the data is flows to the MDM, this metadata automatically captured in the backend, and the system read through all this metadata. And once you get into the data catalog, if you click the any data sets, system say if you click this particular this is under one data sets, right? Maybe one data sets. If you click that data sets, system will open up and see which is our PA. Okay, this automated. Okay, classification.
So this feature is also there in Collibra.
Collibra, yes. This is automated. Okay. So once you scan this database, which is available in our storage system. I mean the storage system available in the Collibra, and this will give the automated tag. This is automated tag. Automated tag using AI. Okay, this is one thing, PA information. And second thing is that contact and data domain. Data domain is also automated. So based on this metadata, system will say, okay, this is purely a customer data. Okay, this is also automated. So these two we already get to know how this was automated using the AI. So we are not going to create any AI model. Okay, just if you import the data into the Collibra and scan it, that will automatically picks this um, data. Okay, and also in catalog you can see one more item called relationship. Okay, let me save this file. Okay, let me say relationship. Relationship meaning, so if you have multiple data domains, says like customer and vendor or material, so that will say that this particular data domain is also related with a different data domain. So that's also one more options, relationship, data and the data domain. So from the metadata, the system automatically tag the PI information. PI means it's only basics. It also depends on the GDPR or the GDPR or some country specific classifications. If you go to the purview, I think I was very much following the purview. In purview, what happens? They will have the classification based on the country specific. For example, if you want to classify the metadata tag based on the country, we have assume that we have the data for India. Okay, so we want to classify the tag only specific to the one particular region, because in Europe they will maintain some different regulations and complaints. In India they maintain some difference. For example, in Europe what happens? I'm saying example. In Europe what happens? They will not say email is a PAID, but India they will say email is also PAI. Okay, it depends. For that country specific, we have to set the rule in the backend. Okay, to perform the automatic tagging.
So where it is defined, like in India, email ID is considered as PI, and in Europe it is not considered.
You
Where is
have
that defined?
yeah, in the tool you have the option to choose how you can set the rule.
No. So that is okay, but which regulation
Yeah,
determines?
regulation you have to go to DPDP. Data Protection, the Digital Data Protection Act. So where you can see the customer which is categorized, how the customer is classified. It's a portal. So normally what happens, this is the responsibility of the compliance team to ensure that we are enforcing as per the policy. Okay, so you will not you worry too much about these things. Okay, anyway, this also the responsibility of the compliance team before making any tag. So what happens even if the system is automatically mapped tag based on some regulations. Okay, but even though what happens, we will loop in the compliance team during this time and ask them to review whether this tag is 100% right or wrong. We can say because we cannot take the decisions based on the AI. So how we ensure that AI is 100% accurate? We can also loop in, or else we can have some reference material to set a match record. And if the match record doesn't pass, then we can loop in the rest of the records to the compliance team to review it, similar to the data steward. So this is a response to the compliance team to review, ensuring that the record is tagged correctly. Okay. So contact point is normally what happens, this is done manually in many applications. For each and every data domain, they will assign a contact point. Maybe status data, they will append, they will have two contact point. One is data owner, another one is data steward. Okay, for a one data sets. So in many cases, they will be performing this task manually. But even in AI, this task is automated. Not many applications. What's even currently, I'm not sure whether Collibra has because I have not seen the Collibra. Okay, I think I remember I have seen in Purview, Informatica, I guess. Okay, so what happens? How this data is related means. Anyone know the Graph API concept? Graph API.
Yeah.
Okay, so what are the information available in the Graph API?
It's basically to integrate different applications or environments, right? You can use Graph API, like to fetch some information from other environment and utilize it here.
Okay, what type of information you will fetch using Graph API?
What kind of information, user details
Correct.
can be fetched.
I guess correct. User information, user details, right? Yes. So what happens? User information means user title and positions will be automatically mapped here. For a customer, so the customer, this particular database will read through the entire database and search who is the customer account manager. Okay, then it's search. So this is based on the purely a rule. We have to set a rule. Any title belongs to customer account manager that will be updated in this area. Okay, using the Graph API. So this also now what happens? AI will automatically search the database and pull out the respective title and map the contact person here. Okay, this is also done in AI, but this is not very successful as far as I know. But they are doing in automatic tagging data domain is they are doing that.
How to
But
validate that as well? I mean, if it is
yeah,
automated.
yeah, validation, yes, it's also important questions. Okay, in AI model, what happens? Assume that we updated all this information. Okay, all this information. Okay, in AI, we have something called confidence level. Okay, for all AI, we have to keep this confidence level. Even for data audit, they have to show confidence level means AI say my accuracy is 85, 90, 60, like something. So the responsibility of the data governance is to set a threshold. Okay, threshold greater than 85 percentage. Okay, if anything is greater than 85 percentages, then yes, this is only for example. Okay, no, I think rest all no. Okay, so this is a AI confidence level. Okay, AI say the accuracy is which is matched based on the AI is only 80 percentage, 90 percentages. Okay, so we have to have some threshold. Okay, it's okay. We can just maintain ADM if the accuracy is 85% and above, then we can say okay, we can move to the production without any issues. Okay, this is the point where data governance comes in and review the AI model. Okay, if what are the cases which is below the threshold that will be reviewed manually, or else they will retrain the model. It's all depends. But this threshold confidence level is missing in the Collibra tool. They cannot set any threshold at present. They can simply in the Collibra, Collibra scan or Purview scan it, and they will highlight this information. But our responsibility as a data governance point of view, we have to ensure how the data model works behind the tool. This we have to get it and maintain the threshold. Because what happens that during the data audit, the people ask, okay, so how you ensure data is accurate? Then we can showcase, okay, we have set the threshold, and this is the way we are just monitoring the accuracy of our data model. In today's, coming back to Viraj questions, in today's applications, AI-enabled applications, there are only few applications is good, especially for the data governance. We can say Purview is first, second Collibra, and Informatica, followed by Informatica, and the rest. This is a as of scenario. Maybe after 1 year or 2 year down the line, maybe some application will perform really better. They might have come up with different solutions to have high level of confidence in the data sets. And also, these are the transformation logics and threshold will have to be transparent for the data audit, because whenever time and again they want to see what's happening in the back end, how do we met the threshold. So everything has to be maintained. Okay. I think so. This is for the data governance model. So in the data catalog, once you go into the data catalog picture, you will get to see all this information features available in the under data catalog. Okay. So this is item available in the data catalog. So this will be as usual. As usual available. These are the things which will be automated process using AI currently in the any MDM2. Okay. And one more thing is that policy management. Okay. Policy management or policy enforcement. I think this is something is coming in few months. Okay. In Collibra, in not in Collibra, in the purview is this is in preview. Okay, I will say about these things at the end of this program. Okay, because this is very new to this particular data governance development. So that's the reason I'm just not highlighting at present, because this not much interesting at present. Okay, at the end of the program, I will touch upon that policy management and how this will be enabled in the Collibra tool. Okay, so Today, I just highlighted the basics, which is what's happening in the back end, how to achieve the data quality, data lineage. We will go through one by one. Tomorrow, I will share one pack. Okay, I just prepared this pack. I will just share this pack. So it's about data catalog and what are features all. This is purely related to the Collibra applications. Okay, I just going to share what are the features all in Collibra and how we can leverage the Collibra. And there are some common things. So I'll be sharing in tomorrow's session. Okay. So tomorrow's session also will be theoretical, and from next week onwards, we can look at some demo. Start with some features in Collibra. Okay.
Yeah.
So now it's a question over to you both for questions.
Uh, Once we are done with this course and program, so
Hmm.
what kind of role should we target first? Like considering my background in database, my overall experience. So which roles would be easy for me to target?
Okay. So you are interested in the business or in the IT? So what's your interest?
Interested in both. That way, whichever will fetch me more salary.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So, based on my experience in today's market,
Mm.
technical roles are more, business roles are
Technical.
very less.
Mhm.
Because if you ask me, if you are mastered Colibra, one
Mm.
application, you can just
Mm.
go into any company and
Mm.
work as a Colibra SME. Okay,
Mm.
where you have to configure the workflow, do the UI changes, and
Mm.
implement the pipeline. And
Mm.
these are the stuffs you can perform in the application side. Okay,
Mm.
but
Mm.
from the if you want to look at the business side, yes, you want to be a data steward. That is a different thing altogether. So data
Mm.
steward or something data owner also you can be there.
Mm.
It depends. Okay, but the role for data steward and the data owner is primarily sits in the product organization.
Mm.
Okay, in
Mm.
many service industry, they are just looking at the application, how to develop the application, how to maintain the application and run it. That's from
Mm.
the servicing team does. So
Yeah.
this IT support is there are many roles, but
Mm.
the business roles are very less. But in
Mm.
India at present, but if you talk about Australia, they have grown a lot compared with other countries where you will get a
Mm.
lot of business roles. But in
Mm.
India, this is the current situations. It depends how you want to look at. I think
Mm.
you can look at both.
Mm.
Whichever comes in, you can just take it. As you said, which pays more means. And if you have expert knowledge in the tooling,
Mm.
then it will be easy for you to get the role. But in business role, it's very limited. If you go to the any job search portal,
Mm.
you can see
Mm.
how many number of data steward or data governance lead.
Mm.
So all into the specific to the tool. If you ask me, they say like Collibra expert,
Mm.
Collibra informatic data expert, or Purview expert. Likewise, they will push in the role.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that role will be large. There you will
Mm.
get the role easily. But business role will
Mm.
be quite difficult. But once you go into your career, you have to look at the business role. This is one
Okay.
thing. Another thing is that even in the technical role, you can also grow
Mm.
like a architect, data
Mm.
governance architect. So
Mm.
as I said, data governance architect means they also work in this field, right? They will be responsible for creating the architect, how to integrate the data from the API system. They can
Mm.
suggest the data model, whether they can use a DNB or any other tool, how to set a threshold. So they will be closely working with the business. But data architect
Mm.
role is a superb role. You can be there because
Okay.
you'll be working with all the people, like
Mm.
data executive top level or any people across the business.
Mhm.
So that's the role will be elevated, and that's even during the current scenario, AI transformation, data architect is one of the good role. You can have it for the long-term career.
Mhm. I think Vijay is not able to unmute himself, I believe.
I don't know.
Policy creation, a lot of expectation from the schools. Policy creation. That's what he has messaged.
I could not see the message.
It's in the chat.
Unmuted launching thanks for conversation, aggregation of then policy creation. Okay, policy creations. That's the new to this applications, any tool. Okay, even in Collibra, I'm not sure they have adapted this particular feature. Okay, policy creations. Yes, you can enable the policy, but policy creations through API is not there. But I can give you, I can suggest you the other way around how we can create a policy in the Collibra and enforce the rule. Okay,
Yeah, sure.
thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, bye bye.
See you tomorrow.